Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dr. Emmett Emery Sr. You Better Stand Your Watch, Leader and Leadership Podcast. Today I have a special guest present before us. This week is a very special week for the company of Mary Kay. My wife is a big part of Mary Kay as well. First of all, let's get honor to God. To say hello to my beautiful wife, Yosemite. And I'd like to give a special shout out to my oldest daughter, Chantel. Happy belated birthday, sweetheart. Her birthday was July 20th. She turned 38. I guess that means I'm an old young guy, if that's even a word. You know, when you get over 50, you start creating things that feel more suitable to you, to the ears. So I'm an old young guy this year. My guest today is Jennifer. I'll always beat her last name up. Is it Woollums?
Correct, Woollums.
Jennifer Woollums. She's a very special person within the Mary Kay business. I want to thank her thank her for coming and welcome her to the show. Jennifer, you have anything you want to say?
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be part of the podcast that you're running. And to me, it's going to be a journey that I think I'm going to start to do it. Hopefully, I can bring as much I can to everybody who will be watching the videos. Good.
Today is going to be a special day. I know Ice Cube says today is a good day, but today is going to be a special day because, number one, Jennifer is bilingual. So she have a chance to communicate with several aspects of my audience, which she so see fit. But we're going to get into it right now. Mary Kay. How do I relate leadership with Mary Kay? Well, Mary Kay is an organization, just like any other small organization. It's a privately held company, and it has leadership levels within it. And I'm going to get into it with Jennifer to allow her to elaborate more upon the leadership methods that she uses within Mary Kay and the leadership method that Mary Kay has that makes an impact upon her. All right, let me get these glasses on because I'm about to read something. Mary Kay Incorporation. Let me give you a little bit of insight on Mary Kay. It's a privately held company in the multi-level marketing industry. Headquarters located in Anderson, Texas. Product is cosmetics and skincare. The company was founded September 13, 1963. You correct me. Stop me anytime you want, Jennifer. I'm not saying anything.
That's correct. No, you're right.
This would be the 60-year anniversary for the company.
Yes.
So it'd be a big thing, right? I know the seminars in Dallas, Texas, correct?
Yes. It's actually running right now, the first group. But it's in Texas.
How many groups do you have?
There are going to be 4. It's coming from different weeks. And then, then they go to have the last section to close the seminar.
Oh, so possibly how many people do you expect each section?
I believe they can be around 5,000 each time or more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How many men?
Well, last time, it was interesting because last time my husband attended for the first time.
Yes.
And they have a special class for spouses, and he was so impressed about the amount that was so elite. And he actually think it's important as a spouse to be supporting to your wife, even to those activities. And at the end, he was so happy because whatever he received, whatever he saw, it actually confirmed that this company, it will be a great fit for any woman.
That's a very important statement that you made. The spouse has been involved. Because a lot of men, including myself, was under the impression that Mary Kay was all females and that a male couldn't learn too much of what's going on within that female organization. They see pink cars and see the flashy dresses and outfits that the female have and say they're so feminine that I'm too masculine to be involved with that.
Yes, but those days, I think it's also more knowing that actually we have the first male that actually reached the high position as a national,
wow,
which is Angel Guerra, and he actually break those stereotypes because he was actually be able to do it. So even in an environment that is just mainly for women, and it was hard for him, he actually was able to do it.
That's impressive for him to have and I have the opportunity to meet Angel, by the way, and for him to break that barrier. Because no matter whatever we do, what organization we're in, it's going to be a point in time where someone has to break a particular barrier, whether it's a sex barrier, age barrier, race barrier. Someone has to break that barrier. So, so I'm under the impression from what you're telling me is that he broke that barrier and made history at the same time.
Yes, that's correct.
And he's a very smart, intelligent individual when you speak with him. So that's impressive right there.
Yeah,
very impressive.
He's very inspiring, I think males at this point, to showing, inspiring them to pursue and actually achieve all the goal as directors and be part of the company. So
wow.
Yep.
Now the company started in 1963 with 318 consultants.
Yes.
And a sales of 198,154. The company exceeded 500 billion in sales through 220,000 consultants by 1991. That's impressive. This is all women. In 1995, its sales had grown to 950 million, including 25 million in Russia. How many we got in Russia now?
Don't know those numbers, but yeah, it's just they've been expanding all around, which is good. Yeah.
In 2017, Mary Kay's continuous multinational expansion, and it saw its sales grow to 3.7 billion with 2.5 million consultants. That's a lot of people. 39,000 directors and 600 national directors. This was in 2017, folks. You can imagine what the numbers are now, today. I'm not going to try to quiz Jennifer with that. Well, she probably know, though. Mary Kay Ash is the individual who founded the company. She was armed with her life savings and a desire to change the future for women. Mary Kay Ash found beauty by Mary Kay with her children, Ben, Marilyn, and Richard. I'm not going to get too much into Mary Kay, 'cause I'm not going to steal Jennifer thunder. But I thought I'd give you a prelude to Mary Kay. In March 20th, Mary Kay closed operation in Australia and New Zealand. Wow.
Yep.
For a woman predominant owned and operated company to be expanded globally like that is incredible.
Yeah, that's why she's that inspiring woman that is helping to empower more women around the world. And with those time and years, she's been showing that the system that she created, it worked.
What sort of an impact has she made on you?
To me, I think about the company themselves. It's just the system. When I get involved to the platform that they provide to any consultant, I was able to be so engaged and see like, wow, everything is there. Everything is provided through the company. So actually, you can build your own business with all the tools that they give it to you. So because I'm learning by visual, when I got and sat down in the computer, I remember I was like looking all the tabs and see, okay, I never know about this. I never know that they can give you this to you to make it your job, easy to start. So to me, I think the fact that give me that to start it and then continue to see what I was able to reach by doing my effort, my own job, and putting my goals. Then's when I started to see that company, it gave me so much, professional growth, which is that I didn't have it. So every time that I'm going to those conferences and every time that I go to the classes and every time that I hear something through the company, it's just like it built me up. And that's what the more impressed that I have it. In 1 year and a half, I'm not the same person that I am right now. So that's why I take it.
You're not the same person that you used to be. Is that good or bad?
No, that's in a good way. In a good way because I feel more confidence. I know that by my business side is developing more. And the goals I used to be in here, now my goals are going to be higher. So I know I can grow. So definitely I know that's why I'm seeing the change that I'm seeing right now.
At the level my wife was at, she was a senior director at the time. And she had such a great impact upon the individuals that worked for her. And I felt that it was very unique, the way the levels are. I give you a chance to explain the levels. She was a mother. She was a sister. She was a doctor. She was a lawyer. She even was preaching to some of the women. She met them on their level. She didn't act like she was too high for them. And how do I know this? Because I was outside looking at what she was doing and what you was doing and what some of the other ladies was doing. And the impact that she was making on an individual life, hands-on compared to what I do in my profession, which is from a distance, I thought was very incredible. My wife, she would look at herself and she would say, well, I'm the senior directors. I have directors that work for me, and I have directors underneath that, and I have consultants that work for there. So at times I got to rate myself in certain areas. So I got to be at the level of the director, then I got to be at that level of the director, then I got to be at that level of the consultant, then I got to bounce back and forth. How do you juggle that?
Well, as a leadership that I start to be when I make a director, right now I saw my position is basically more important to help my group to success. So I need to get involved with that relationship with them first, knowing each other first, to see, what can the things going on behind that, so I can actually help them. Everybody needs a process, so I need to be able to individuals separate them. Some of them can be, achieving those goals faster. Some of them can be slower. Some of them need a lot of maybe more motivation. Some of them are quick learning and they actually completely individual. So they do everything that you just made to do. So I had to provide them tasks. I need to provide them all the information that they needed. So when I reached that position, just simple as being a director, you know that you're going to have a lot of people on there. You're looking to you, and you have to lead by example. That way they can know that, you are showing that they can do it too, and be able to grow. Because I am the director, but all the group that I have under me, we are all together. We got to be together. And eventually, even they achieve, higher positions, we still got to be a teamwork.
You mentioned lead by example. Isn't that tough with Mary Kay? Because you're not dealing with many different sexes. You're only dealing with one.
Especially women. It's a lot of things involved. To me, leading by example, I think is one of the best quality that I have, because I'm super focused and I'm very organized. So to me, to reach each goal that is needed to perform and succeed, I'm capable to do it. And to me, maybe that is easy. For them, maybe not.
Right.
So that's what they see you. So like, oh my God, I'm still trying, but how you doing? How you do it so easy? And in my head right now, I would say like it's just doing the work. Listen, your director. Listen, actually, the people that hire to you that teach you how to do it. And after that, you will be able to do it. But it's hard. It's hard to lead it by example. Everything has to be performed. Everything that is required, you have to do it first than them. So that way they know it. And then you start to create your reputation and they start to follow. Because that's what I mainly have to be. Leadership need to be, all together with followers by leading by example.
Good. I know it's tough, leading by example. The way you broke down the levels. So you got to lead one way with directors and lead another way with the other director, lead another way with the consultants.
Yes.
And then you got to lead another way. With you, it's unique. I know this is one of the questions I was going to ask you. But I'm going to ask you anyway. How do you motivate? Because a lot of the people that works for you are of a Latin descent, but different countries. I mean, different cultural values, different way of communicating. And you're leading by example. You've been very good at doing that. But tell my audience, how do you do that?
I think it's my reputation. I think definitely it is something that I've been creating for many years. And to me, all we had the courage to say, like, you can do it. And especially the name of my unit is Never Give Up. And by showing them that no matter what, try, and try until you really don't have another more option. So the moment that you see that you can see that line, that because you've been trying and you'll be trying, just I do in my life. It's everything that I have right now is because I didn't, and it's because I never get up.
Right.
So to me, it's just having that reputation, I believe, and all we trying to learn more, provide them even videos, well, even a text to make sure how they are, how they doing the follow-up with them. So they know they have somebody who they can trust. They know somebody actually they can ask if they need, and they have any question, be able to help them. So I motivated them by doing it too, by earning and winning all those, goals, making everything that the company asks for. So I'm the first one to do it. And I motivated them because if I feel that I didn't, anybody can do it. It's just, again, they have to do the work. As soon as they do the work and they let in that person who is trying to help you to do it, then you will be able to achieve it.
That's that lead by example. I'm about to bring you to my workspace. They need to follow this. How do you develop strong company values and integrity? With your profession, it's more theft that could occur because there's more money involved directly.
Well, yes, but you have to make sure that each consultant, they know what to do and what don't to do. Mm-hmm. So company have rules. You have to be the one that actually never do the wrong things. That way, I think, I created that integrity with them too. So if I follow the rule and the company tell me to do this and that, and don't do this, which actually the company show you how to do those things, mm-hmm. I think that's the way I can provide some values and integrity to them.
Good. And then it helps too because your husband was ex-military. I have to throw that in.
Well, when you do something wrong, you know the consequences.
Yes.
And that's the main thing that they have to know, So you get out to the line, company have those rules, and you got to be in trouble, basically.
Disciplinary action. Now, Mary Kay Ash has several quotes she would relate to the work effort in place, such as, there are 3 types of people in the world, what she would say. Those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who wonder what happened. Which one do you consider yourself, and why?
I'm definitely the one who make the things happen. And why? Because I work for them. Actually, I never stop until that goal is completely.
So you got a 24/7 schedule.
No, but you manage your time and you focus and you put your priorities in place, mm-hmm. and you have agenda. Mm-hmm. You can actually do a lot through the day. So because it's the rule.
Wow. There is a way up, around, over, or through. This is another quote I'm saying from Mary Kay Ash. Very powerful woman. There is a way up, around, over, or through. Which direction did you receive your success?
Through.
Wow, power right through, right? Wow. Elaborate. What do you mean through? How'd you do that?
Because I'm focused on where I need to go. Mm-hmm. And that's the side I'm going to keep it. Mm-hmm. And if I don't lose focus, no, I just go into that direction and until it's completely again.
Wow. Which direction you lead your team?
I try to then see that this is the direction. I show them the way, but it's normal. Some people want to go around, up and down, and that's when you say this is easy. Mary Kay is easy if you follow, the plan. That's simple. But until they got it, they sometimes people have to make the mistakes, which is okay. But then they actually come back and recognize, I couldn't be doing faster, and I didn't listen to you, which is fine. But yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the 60-year anniversary celebration that you're going to in Dallas this week.
Well, I I had the opportunity to see kind of the, the kind of the promotion and everything, but I know the companies go big in the anniversary. Why? Because at first it showed the company as a stable company for 60 years, and it showed everybody around that America is still here. 60 years for me is just like, for the company is like telling like, okay, it's going to be maybe 60 more years. And that shows so much stability in the business, which is right now you see business coming up and down.
Right.
So to me, it's like, okay, if you stay here and you just work for and building more, eventually you maybe got to be seeing 70 years.
Wow.
If you want it. So
wow.
But 60 is a big day too for us. Like 60 years to us is just because a lot of things come into this seminar. And one of the biggest things to me, if I'm able to say, is just seeing the debut of my sister as a national in this seminar. So it was something that I'm dreaming about. And you asked me this, the 60 plus Yosemite Mora debut and all those things in general. That's when you see what Mary Kay always say about the dreams can come true. And yes, you can do it. So she's one of those, like you got to be seeing in there in that stage and plus the 60th anniversary is just all together. It's so many things, but in order to feel it, you have to be there. That's why people encourage so much that please just go attend and give you the opportunity, give you the extra mile that we always say.
Yes.
So you can see it, because it's no picture you go to show what you can go to feel when you are there.
Actually in person.
Yes.
My wife, Yosemite, you'll get a chance to hear her at some point. She's feeling her way around this podcast right now. And when she's ready to come forward and speak, I'll give her the mic. I'll just sit here and just watch her talk. Talk about the vehicles, the cars. What type of cars, at what point you get the cars? Because everyone just think it's just a pink Cadillac.
Okay, for the cars, we call the trophies, The first one is the Chevy Malibu, that you can reach it. You can reach it that one as a consultant or as a director. That's the first, 4 wheels, 0 miles that the company assigned to you when actually you do, your work.
Yes.
Okay, it's assigned to you, and even you have to maintain the numbers, and that's the way that the company actually let you to maintain it for 2 years, right?
Yes.
Then, even though before 2 years you can escalate, and then you can earn, the second car, the second trophy, which is the Chevrolet Equinox.
Oh, okay.
Which is right now I have it, and I'm waiting for. So already completely 2 of the 4 actually, right? So the third car is the pink Cadillac, the small pink Cadillac, which is of course a higher production that you have to do with your group, and then qualifications that mainly you have to do. Then, of course, is the...
So before you go to the last one, what's the little symbols that you guys do for the pink Cadillac?
The symbol, no, we do a dance, which is like pink Cadillac. So that's actually the dance, okay? About that card, something that I can tell you that that card is exclusive from Mary Kay. So Mary Kay went to the dealership one day, and then she said she want to have a pink Cadillac that is going to be just for her consultants that reach that position. And even the president can drive a pink Cadillac.
Wow.
So it has to be American consultant, okay? Other thing that I can tell you that the pink Cadillac are made in exclusive to that person who earned it. So when you receive the car, you will see like a little plaque in your vehicle.
Wow, personal.
It say this vehicle it was built for that person.
Wow.
So you will see that was designed especially for you.
Wow.
And the fourth car, which is the Escalade, the pink Escalade, is the one that is getting assigned to the national directors.
Wow.
And that's the car that everybody always want to be outside and take pictures and see it. So
Wow.
It's also the car that when you're driving around, a lot of people is looking to you. And
Yes,
then you are
yes.
driving and you see like people is pointing to them. It's kind of,
Yes.
it's cool.
I see you got the book Mary Kay Ash. I also see you got a little label in one of the sections. What was you reading?
I bring just in case I need it, I will be prepared. But I have a line here that I read it at the beginning. That was for the edition. And I keep it this little paper that say, if God put you seeds of you inside, why you thou?
Say that again.
If God put you seeds in your heart or inside you, why you thou?
Wow.
You can do it. And this one especially is just from my sister many, many years ago.
Wow.
So I keep it to remind when you think like, you think you cannot do it,
She
you cannot
passed
do
it on
much.
to you?
Yes.
Wow.
So I have in this book.
For the audience that don't know, that Mary Kay Ash was very spiritual. And I talk a lot about spirituality in the workplace. And she actually did a lot of spirituality in the workplace. And if you speak to an individual from Mary Kay now, they will also talk about the spirituality part, because I'll give you a chance to talk about it in a minute. Mary Kay's strategy of the business was based on Christian philosophy. She asked her employees to give preference first to God, then family, and finally to work. She encouraged women to discover their good side as mother and wives, while simultaneously also succeed in work. What is your viewpoint of this belief and principle? She focused on spirituality, and she focused more on women, encouraging them to discover their good sides as mothers and wives.
Mary Kay always try to empower them, and God, putting God first in their heart, I think that was the first thing that she had to put it to any woman or any person that was inside there. Because she had the 3 quotes that say God, family, and work, right? And they are all together. And those are the 3 things that need to be balanced no matter what.
Explain those 3.
To me, especially to me, is all we had to believe it. We got. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Believe even in the rough time, because that's life. It's just the moment. And without God in your heart, it's hard. So it's just like, it's got to be something that you just don't have the strength. So if you put God in your heart, that's going to help you to move forward, and eventually, get up again.
So you was raised Catholic, right?
Yes.
So that means that you was deep within the belief of God. So it wasn't difficult for you to accept that as the first step, was it?
No, because to me, especially my family and my mom, we put in our heart that God is God and is the same to us, at least to us. And then no matter what religion, people take God in different way. To me, she always take God at home. And she always say, you pray with God wherever you are. And sometimes even say you don't completely have to be going to the church and all that, because you believe in them and you have God in your heart, you can just speak with him,
Amen.
morning, night,
Amen.
or whatever. So,
What about family?
To family, because I believe you need that support. I see through that past year how important is family it is. How the support it is just significant, because if you don't have your family understanding that those hours that you go out, those activities, those trips, those moments that you're trying so hard to just do yourself, or that space, it need to be understanding your family that you are working through a goal. You are working to finally achieve something. And sometimes a lot of the women doesn't have that, because they got, husband that they just thinking like, no, you have to be here at a certain time. You have, family and kids to take care and all that. So to me, family is kind of key. As a family, you work together and understand that actually sometimes you need things from your family to help you or help each other. That's one is one of the things. Personally, to me, my family is everything to me. So they're going to understand if I do something is because I'm trying to completely. And if they need me and they need my support, I'm going to be there. And I wish a lot of the family in general couldn't understand that as a woman, any woman, even a male, need to grow up and need to go out to find, those things to help you to be success.
So your family is, to some, their life support. How do you communicate to that female who do not have that family?
That's hard because I always think my family is very unique. I always feel blessed. I always feel like, wow, it's hard when you live in that life and you see that they are having what you have, that freedom that you have to take decisions and coming home in certain time, and that trust, that your family need to give it to you. And that time, sometimes you request that time. Give me this time to see that I could show you that I'm not wasting my time. My husband is very supportive, like very, very supportive to me. My husband know that I'm here. Is so much that we can do together. He know the freedom that we have in here to travel, to do activities together. He know how happy I look, how beautiful I start to look since I'm doing it. My sister, of course, she's my mentor. Without her, I couldn't even see that because I was reaching to her. I always was looking what she was doing, but I couldn't do it, At that point, I thought I couldn't do it. I thought that was not for me. But for her, everything was like persistent. And when she was that way, I say, like you always say, it's something here. I need to try. At least I need to try. And when I give my opportunity to try one time, and I see everything that I wasn't, living and seeing, it was like, wow, I just missed those years. Mm-hmm. But because she was my mentor, and that was the person that I chose to have it, to teach me, I was blessed too. And that's my part of my family. Can you imagine that? And the another part of my family is my niece and my nephews. And to them, seeing that I was doing it, for them was like, I can't believe it. My aunt is doing Mary Kay. Because for so many years, that was something like, I'm kind of the person that people couldn't think like, and never in their life, never, ever, they couldn't think like Jennifer was even doing Mary Kay. When they see everything, so it was like, wow, it's impressed. And most of the people were thinking now that's because Yosemite sister. They say, no, that's because I did the work. I did the job. You earned it. And I earned it. Mm-hmm. I think that's why family is important. And when I don't see that, in many of the women, that they are in my team, is hard, because they come with so much insecurities, and that you have to help it and to pass them,
right,
and see it like, yeah, you can have the dislike. Mm-hmm. You can still doing that. You need it. You deserve that as a woman.
Yes,
and working yourself.
You mentioned your husband support you. I remember going to one of the meetings with my wife, and she was talking to some of the ladies about bringing their significant others with them. And I walked in, I expected a full room of males, but I didn't see that. And then when they separated the males from the females and communicate with the males about yourself and Yosemite, I asked them questions on if they even knew what Mary Kay was. And I was utterly surprised that they didn't have a clue. They didn't understand. And it was against their significant others for Mary Kay. The class for the male is very important, but how you communicate with that female to get that information to their husband or their significant other, when that significant other is very difficult and stubborn and bullheaded? Is that drive-through termination that you have?
Well, everything starts with the wife. The wife has to be honest. The wife has to be telling them, this is something that I'm starting. This is the kind of business that I'm doing. This is going to be my hours. This is what I need. It, so you understand that.
Good.
But with that lack of communication, that's what the problem is, start to see it. And I also think that some of the wives are not giving the results that the husband are looking for. Mm-hmm. A husband is going to support you if you start to bring, extra revenue too. And you start to have those achievements, those recognition. Because the moment that husband know that you're bringing extra and supporting and actually contributing more, I don't think it's going to be any husband that's going to say, no, you don't go to do that. However, there are husbands that sometimes they don't just want your wife go higher than you. I understand that. But those days, I don't think that's a thing. But I think it's that they are not giving the results that the husbands.
Oh, you don't think they communicate with the husband?
The communication plus the results. When you do the job and you're doing, and you're scaling and your checks, are getting bigger and bigger, and actually your wife doesn't have to go and do another part-time job and all that. And you show them, look, I'm earning this. I used to do this, but now I earn this and less hours and all that. And I think that's a part too.
But that can be good and bad, because I have females that works for me. I've done some counseling, not on the personal side, because anything personal, I direct them to someone else. But listening to some of them say that my husband is upset because I make more money than him.
Yeah, that's what I say. It can be tricky too. But that's the husband mentality too.
Yes.
Because remember, no matter what, I think you have to be a team. How good it got to be that actually even your wife make more than you? No matter what, you know what I mean? It's just like you put the things together. And if she's making more, it's because she's doing more. What about you? Why you don't try to do something more to start to make it more?
Good point.
So, and it's not about competition. It's actually, at the end, see each one happy for whatever they're doing. If they're doing something that makes them happy and they're making a good money, good. Work for those future goals that you got to do when the money is not an issue. And if you do that, I think that's a key.
I agree. I think a lot of the struggles now with some of the males with the different cultural backgrounds from that community is that they probably was very wealthy or controlled the household financially in the country they was in. Right. And in the United States, a little bit different because you had to pick up a different trade than the trade you had in the country that you was in. Right. So I think they struggle mentally with that. I don't think it's so much. Some is personal, some is not personal. I was talking about that with my wife. We discussed that. And being a spiritual man that I am, I told her that a lot of that would be eliminated if men would just follow God's instructions and be patient on the woman, the soulmate that he gives them. I'm a prime example. I was married a few times, and those are women I chose, not the woman that God gave me. This one I'm currently with is the one that God gave me. How you know? You know because it feels right, emotionally, physically, psychologically. Everything matches. That means that you don't have to be fake or a different person in one area to please that individual and then be yourself in another area, or be someone you're not. If you're someone you're not, then that person fall in love with that person that you're not. And then when they realize the person that you are, all the chaos starts because they don't know that person. They want to be around that person. So a lot of that happens. And I'm sorry, I get on that pastor tip and start preaching and everything else.
But I want to, let you know, remember, Mary Kay, Ash created something that was meant to make that different when she was trying for that high position for so many years. Actually, she trained those males in that company that she was working for to actually they reach those high positions. Really? And then the moment that she want to apply for them, many times they just say no because she was a woman. And
That's
because
true.
she was a woman, back to the day 60 years ago,
yes,
she couldn't make more money than the male. And that's how everything actually here started. And that's what everything here and her, book even showing that, woman was creating to be empowered too. But not in the bad way. It's actually in the way that you feel like you are also in the same level as making as much or in the same as a male. We don't have any different. If, if you had that ability to do it.
I was reading this article. I can't remember who wrote the article, but they're making comparison with Mary Kay and Walmart. And they said in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, Mary Kay Ash and Mary Kay was considered a cult because it was successful and it was family oriented. And they were doing the same thing that Sam Walton was doing with Walmart. But Sam Walton was considered a genius. That was the difference between the male and the female. Yeah. And that's exactly what you're saying. So, yes, I understand.
Culture, but things are going to be changing. And as you see, 60 years from now, a lot of women's life have been changing. A lot of women right now making a lot of money in the position that they are right now. And if you do the job and you have passion and you focus, you'll be able to see
history.
You actually make it history, yes.
I'm looking forward to the 60-year celebration. I know it's going to be a lot of historical data there. I actually get the chance to visit the Mary Kay
building.
Yes,
corporate.
Yes. Hopefully I get sit in that pink Cadillac. Don't take no pictures.
Yes.
Mary Kay also had a favorite scripture, and that was Matthew 25:14 and 30. I'm going to read it for you. It was a parable of the bags of gold. Again, it would be like a man going on a journey who called his servants and entrusted his wealth to them. To one he gave 5 bags of gold, to another 2 bags, and to another 1 bag, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. So also the one with 2 bags of gold gained 2 more. But the man who had received 1 bag went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who had received 5 bags of gold brought the other 5. Master, he said, you entrust me with the 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. The man with 2 bags of gold also came. Master, he said, you entrust me with 2 bags of gold. See, I have gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Then the man who had received 1 bag of gold came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sowed and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid and went out and hid your gold in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you. His master replied, you wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I have not sowed and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well, then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I return, I would have returned it back with interest. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there would be weeping and gnashing of teeth. That was her favorite scripture. And we have established that you're a very spiritual woman. What is your favorite scripture that motivates you and keep you going?
To mine, I have one here. I take it. And it's actually it's Matthew 2. It's in 1926. When I read it to you. And say, Jesus looked at them and say, we know, man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
Wow.
So to me, I always say, with God, and don't give it up. All the things are possible. So that's what I was, when I was reading and understanding actually, the fact of that having those talents and using those talents to create more talents, that's actually the key. In my case, when I was starting Mary Kay, I have a lot of talents, a lot of things that I'm good at.
Yes.
And what I was doing was applying them and developing, more abilities, which is something that a lot of people think like they don't have it. But God give it to you. You just have to look for them and use it. And that's no matter what, you have a 5 talent, 2 talent, or 1, use them. And you will see how eventually you will have more talent that God got to give it to you. And if you are thankful for that, it's everything.
Wow. That scripture lines up with what you said earlier. Just thrive through. Just thrive through. Read that scripture again for me, please. Read it again for me, please.
So it says, Matthew 19:26. Jesus looked at them and said, "With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible."
With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. With God, family is possible. With God, work is possible. I'm beginning to understand why Mary Kay said God first, and then she said the other things after God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it something you want to say to my audience, bilingual audience, in the Spanish tongue?
Well, dense la oportunidad de por lo menos intentar conseguir y de aprender algo a través de una carrera tan bonita como lo hace Mary Kay. Nuestro sistema es simplemente para transformar vidas, simplemente para que ustedes como mujeres logren poder alcanzar y conseguir ese yo interno y volver a ser mujeres, pero mujeres profesionales y mujeres preparadas, para que ustedes vean que todo en este mundo bien sea aplaudido y a través de reconocimientos que son merecidos para nosotros las mujeres, pueden de una u otra manera transformar primero tu vida para que llegue a través de las otras personas. Nosotros simplemente hacemos el legado, pasamos la antorcha, ayudamos a otras mujeres a que hagan sus sueños realidad. Así que te invito a que si quieres saber un poquito más de ello a través de alguna consultora, con gusto puedas intentarlo. Gracias.
Yeah, what she said. For the ones who figured out, I congratulate you. For the ones who have not yet figured out, I will tell you, yes, she's my sister-in-law, because you heard me say my wife said, send me, and you heard her say her sister, you send me. So there it is. Now you see that I'm not the only intelligent one in the family.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer, for coming. I appreciate it. I think we learned a lot about Mary Kay and the leadership part. We can go on for hours talking about Mary Kay because of the accomplishments that she made and what's going on in Dallas. It's going on in Dallas now. But I want to, once again, congratulate my wife on her success. She's been 23 years with Mary Kay. She started at the bottom. She went through difficulties. Everyone go through difficulties, family life, and everything else. But she stuck with it. She persevered, as Jennifer said. And she stuck with it. And now she will be rewarded as national sales director. I can't take credit for that as much as I want to. I can't take any credit for it because God already had it in place before we met. The only thing she had to do was walk within that particular calling. And she's very cordial, very friendly. She's a people person. Probably said, what? How you two connect? I am a people person. Whether it might see in my face expression or not. She mentioned her husband several occasions, which is James. He's a good man. He helped me along the way when I first started dating Yosemite. That's a different topic. That's a different conversation. But sweetheart, congratulations. All your hard work has now been paid off. I love you. Keep up the good work. She will be on this show sooner or later. I just got to encourage her to do that. Once again, thank you. Until we meet again, God bless you and goodbye.